Hey guys, I want to show you how to do ab wheel crunches the right way. This is going to be just a real quick video. I was very short on time today. I had a lot of other stuff going on that I needed to take care of, but I'm still going to get some core work in. I'll be doing some more full body oriented stuff tomorrow and the day after, but I'm still going to get some ab work in, and I figured I'd show you guys how to do this the right way. On ab wheel crunches, you want to make sure that you're going slow and controlled. There are a lot of people who do this and they start bull rushing on the way up in order to complete the rep, and that's really unsafe. All right, so if you're someone who, when you do this, you can't do the full movement, and in other words, you can't come back up from a fully flat position that you're about to see, then you can also just limit how far out you go. Here's what I mean by that. When doing this, first of all, you want to make sure that when you start, this wheel is right next to the knees. My knees are either together or no more than maybe an inch or two apart. And from here, there is a cat. Anyway, get out of my way. From here, I'm going to end up going all the way out. I'm extending from the hip area, the knee area, and the shoulder area. All three of those joint areas are extending at the same time. And to a degree, the joints in between all of my vertebrae, to a degree, are also extending because I'm going to be sprawling out. So I have my back rounded out at the beginning. So I'm kind of in an upside down crunch as it is. My back is intentionally rounded out, kind of like almost a hunchback. All right, and from here, I'm already tightening the abs a little bit. And I'm going to take a breath in, go all the way out, and I'm exhaling on the way out. From there, I'm going to take another breath in and exhale on the way back. So here's what it looks like. This is full range of motion, and then I'll show you the limited version as well. I'm going to do at least one more, and then I'll unpack what I'm doing here. So the entire time I'm keeping my abs at least somewhat tight to a degree. There's not really any point at which my abs feel relaxed, so to say, even at the most extended point. And I'm making sure throughout the entire motion that my lower back is driving upwards. So I want that roundness, that hunch, that roundness in my lower back, or as close to that as I can get the entire time, even when I'm all the way out. Now, obviously, due to the curvature of my spine and so on, it's not going to always look that way, but I'm trying to project that. I'm trying to keep that kind of same muscle contraction to keep a rounded spine the whole time. That way, I don't let this happen. You do not want to look like this while you're doing this exercise. You will fuck yourself up real bad. All right? You want to keep your back rounded in the opposite direction, and exaggeratedly so that as the abs start to weaken during this, you're not going to just all of a sudden drop out, okay? If that happens, and you do that instead, which is an anterior pelvic tilt in the hip and spine area, what will happen is your abs, instead of working, will kind of start to weaken out. They'll go, they won't get used. Your abs will take over less and less of the movement. When you get an anterior pelvic tilt, it's your hip flexors, your iliacus and psoas major, known also together as the iliopsoas, the two muscles that are kind of like a band going from the lumbar region of your spine all the way down the hip bone and sticking into the inner thigh bone, your femur, okay? That muscle is going to take over the movement instead. And as that gets tighter, because it's connected to the lumbar region of the spine, it's going to pull the spine this way. And over time, even if you're not doing this on purpose, if you do ab movements the wrong way, including this one, that tightness will create habitual tightness, not just in the exercise, but in daily life. And you'll get more and more of that as time goes on. Now, some of you are thinking, hey, oh, look at that, I got a big ass, that's great. No, that's not a big ass, that's a fucked up spine is what that is. And that's also a back injury waiting to happen. All right? You do not want to slip a disc or You don't, at the same time, you don't want to end up developing sciatica as a result of compressed nerves in the lumbar region of your spine. So you want to make sure that you got that going on. You're basically getting rid of your ass, all right? Get rounded out in the spine and keep that drive of the lower back that way. Keep that intentional hunch, intentional roundness the whole time, so that by the time you're way out here, where I'm sprawled out all the way, I'm still contracted in the right area of my spine so that I haven't lost abdominal involvement, all right? While I'm going all the way out, move this bottle out of the way. When I'm going all the way out, in that lowest position, kind of like with the push-ups, the tip of my nose will usually actually touch the floor ever so slightly. And then, now if your body shape isn't going to allow the tip of your nose to touch, that's fine, just as long as you're going all the way down and not resting, right? Now, if you can't get that, your other choice is to just limit how far out you go. So let's say you get to the point at which any further and you know you're going to give out. That's where you stop, right before that point of, okay, if I go any further, I'm not going to be able to hold this. And then you come in. That's fine. So if you're doing a limited movement, as long as you're slow and controlled and you're contracting the abs the whole time, you're going to get stronger and you'll be able to go further and further out until you go all the way down. All right? Additionally, on the way back, I am not thinking of a backwards movement. I'm not thinking this way as I return from that movement. I'm thinking this way. So when I'm sprawled all the way out, I contract the abs and I pull the lower back. I drive the lower back towards the ceiling as if I got a string attached to my lower back and I'm like a marionette puppet. I'm being pulled up. And by way of biomechanical circumstance, because I got a wheel here, I'm going to end up going backwards. But I'm thinking up as I return to that position. And even the last few inches of movement from here to here, I'm not relaxing and just letting my arms push that in. I'm actually concentrically and even isometrically contracting my abs with an exhale the whole time. All right? And I got another cat in the way. You gotta let that. All right, so even if you gotta limit your movement, that's fine. Get that full contraction the whole time, even during the last few inches of the movement back in, and keep it slow and controlled the entire time. All right? Now, I'm going to do a few sets worth of this and combine it with some other things, but that I'm not going to record because that's not going to be for a few minutes because I got to take care of some stuff. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you got any questions related to this, by all means, feel free to comment. I hope this was helpful for anybody watching. You guys take care.